It's the best thing I've ever done in my life. You should definitely try it, especially because y'all can't really get it together, you know?
Hey everyone, let's get right into this episode, The Braxtons, Season 2, Episode 6.
Trina, today...
Let's start right here.
I get tired too. And then I get tired of taking it all too. It's too much for me. I walked away from this show before, and I promised myself I would go back. It's too much.
Poor Tamar. Well, we know it's not really poor Tamar. She's going to be fine. You know, that was her talking to Phil, a music exec. And you know what? I wish he would have told her, Tamar, you do not have to dim your light so that other people can shine, specifically your sisters. I really wish he would have told her that. And you guys, I'm going to read um, exactly what it means and just listen clearly because we have all been through this. So it says that this phrase is an encouragement to be your authentic self and not to hide your talents, passions, or personality to make others feel more comfortable. It's based on the idea that your unique gifts are valuable and the world needs your light, and that another person's insecurity is not your responsibility to fix. That is a word for Tamar Braxton. You know, I think there is a general consensus amongst us, the viewers, that Tamar's talent and the fact that she doesn't need her sisters is the problem. If Towanda was as talented as Tamar, and I'm being very nice, guys, okay? If Trina was as talented as Tamar, there wouldn't be a problem because they all would be doing their own thing, okay? And when Tamar clocked them at that table, when she said, "You all really can't seem to get it together," that spoke volumes because they've had opportunities that the average person hasn't had and nothing has come of it. You know, the only way that they would be okay with her is if she needed them. So let's say if she needed a job. Oh, Trina, you know, can you hook me up with the real estate company you're working for? You know, maybe they can get me a cubicle next to yours, you know, or she could ask Sean, hey, Towanda, you think Sean has a friend? But we know, well, I know, we all know, Tamar, she could create her own opportunities. So she wouldn't have to ask Trina to put in a good word for her or for Sean to hook her up with one of his friends. So, and her not dimming her light so that her sisters can shine, that's not a dig at her siblings. It's just a fact. Tamar has outgrown this show. All right. Let's move on to the next clip. So this clip, this is good because Trina and Toni, they're talking at a furniture store. And listen to the question that Toni asked Trina.
She can be a little picky, especially when it comes to house shopping. But I think I found the perfect location, and I can't wait to show it to him Do you like being a realtor?
I love it. But I think I got the bug from you.
Okay, so we could stop right there because we don't have to hear any of Trina's fabrications. I thought that was interesting that Toni asked her, "So, do you like being a realtor?" I really don't know what to believe now when I'm watching Trina and Towanda. I personally don't believe her, and I don't think Toni really believes her. That's why Toni asked her. And I just think at this point, I question everything that Trina and Towanda says and does. I don't believe they are being authentic, yet this is a reality show. The only thing I liked about this scene was Trina's boots. I'm not trying to be funny. That was really the only thing that I liked about this scene. All right, let's go to the next scene. So in this scene, Tawanda's with her fiance. Yeah, he has his full lace front on. And they're operating radio controlled helicopters. So let's just watch a little bit of it.
Of RC helicopters.
Uh-oh. Don't cut the grass on them. Pick it up, pick it up. Good job.
And even though the past few weeks has been full of a lot of stuff, our number one focus is still live our best lives together.
Alrighty. So there are a lot of fillers in this episode. A lot of fillers, and this was one of them. What was a little bit interesting about this scene was they were trying to figure out Miss E and who was going to escort her to the wedding. So they called Miss E, and she was receptive to meeting someone who could escort her to the wedding. And that was pretty much it for this scene. All right, let's go to the next one. The next one is a little bit more interesting. All right, right here. All right.
Onto our Instagram and YouTube channel and give our viewers some options for food that satisfies your taste buds and doesn't harm your heart. Uh-oh, Rogue. Can you throw it away, please?
Yeah.
Don't you bite it. Don't you. Aww.
So, what stood out the most to me with this particular scene? It wasn't that he picked the food up off of the floor and ate it. It was the pretension of wearing the gloves. That's what really stood out to me. And it was a contradiction because it totally contradicted him eating off of the floor. I mean, you both of them were wearing gloves like they're germaphobes, or I really don't want to get my hands messy. It's still that obsession with wanting everything to be really clean. I want my hands to stay clean while I'm cooking. But it's a contradiction because then you eat off of the floor. So who are you? Who are you? Which one are you? I don't wear gloves when I cook. Um, so I'm not going to try to pretend to be something I'm not. That's what just kind of annoyed me about the scene. All right, let's go on to the next scene. I think this next scene is yep, right here. Toni Braxton. Let's listen in.
The colors are brown,
Okay.
lavender.
And white. I like this. This is perfect. All these huge family milestones happening all at once. I mean, I can't help but feel sad that I can't pick up the phone and talk to Tamar about everything that's going on right now. I totally respect Towanda's wishes by not wanting Tamar at her wedding. That's her right. But it still doesn't feel right, you know? I mean, these are once-in-a-lifetime memories. And I do wish we were all sharing them together, me and all the sisters.
Okay, so that was Toni, the big sister, getting a little bit emotional. But in this scene, she is, I don't know if Denham is her oldest son or youngest son, but she said that both of her sons are graduating. Denham, I believe he's graduating from Howard University, and her other son is graduating from some fashion design institute. What another thing that's interesting, this is later on in the episode, she surprises Denham with a brand new Maybach. And those are the Mercedes that are upwards of $200,000. I actually thought they were even more than that because I remember hearing about them like decades ago. Um, my thought was it must be mighty nice having access to Birdman's money. That's just what I thought. Another thing I thought though, with all of these really like personal scenes that we're seeing of Toni, like they even showed her at Denham's graduation. You know, it's been a long, long time since we've seen all of these personal scenes with Toni. I feel like she has always just kind of been like just kind of making her little appearances since the inception of the show. But this was very personal, and they had to do it because Tamar really did not play a big part in this episode, just like last week's episode. She's kind of missing in action. So I really, kudos to the producers because I know they really had to work hard to pull this episode off. Okay. All right. I just have, I think maybe two or three more little clips I want to share. Let's see. Oh yeah. This is Miss E on her date. Let's just listen in a little bit.
Gonna be mad a little bit?
Yep.
So you're divorced? Oh.
So you're divorced? You know what I thought about with this is all of her kids got a divorce with the exception of Traci, but all the rest of them, including Michael, they all got a divorce, they all got remarried. So they did not completely throw out that notion of marriage. And it doesn't seem like Miss E has ever entertained that. And I know that some women, when they're done with marriage, they're done. Very attractive woman. I'm sure there were plenty of women, I mean, plenty of men who tried to talk to Miss E, but if your heart is still hurt, if you still haven't dealt with that hurt, um, you can't go into another relationship. All right, let's go to the next. Let's skip ahead. Yeah, I didn't care about Faison and Trina selling him a house. I can't sit through it again. Like I said, a lot of fillers. All right, 27. Okay, so this is a little bit interesting. Let's listen into this. Let's watch.
Hey, Trina Weenie. Hi, sister. You left me for a while.
That's what I wanted to talk about. Brooke, Towanda and Sean's daughter. Now, I noticed this before, but this is like a reoccurring theme. I mean, they're really trying to drill in Towanda and Sean's daughter. Um, they're even going to have this same caption and title when she's at the rehearsal, the wedding rehearsal in this same episode. I just, you know what? I just think that it's an intentional slight at her biological father. Because why not just state Tawanda's daughter? So it's like you can't use your platform to try to propel your career. You had a skin line, you all had music in the beginning, and I mean, so many things that I'm sure you all have started, but you all are definitely using this platform to get back at people who you feel have wronged you. I don't know why they just didn't say Tawanda's daughter. I really don't. And I meant to go back to see if when they were showing Denim, if they said, Toni and Carrie's son. I'm sure they didn't. I'm sure they just said Denim. They just said Toni's son. Alrighty. Last clip. Last clip. Yep, so this is the wedding rehearsal. And there was really no issues here. Let's just watch a little bit of it. Oh, you know what? I think I have it where you're going to see. There it is. Let's start it right here.
Can you hold your bouquet up, please? Thank you, ma'am.
What's up, Tosh?
Good job, Brooke. Take your time. You're a model.
Again, Brooke, Towanda and Sean's daughter. Boy, they really want to drive that home. Poor Andre. Where's Andre? And that is really all I have to say. I give this episode a 4 out of 10, 10 being the highest. Like I said, kudos to the producers for pulling this episode off. The interaction that we used to see between the four sisters, excluding Toni, that's what's missing. Traci was fun. She was goofy, and I say goofy in a good sense, in a positive way. She was goofy and funny. Tamar is loud and obnoxious. I say that in a lighthearted way. Okay, she's good for TV. She has a huge personality. And Trina and Towanda kind of balance that out. And that's what's missing, in my opinion. It's not working anymore. That's my review. I should have asked you all in the beginning, but I will ask you all now. If you enjoyed the video, if you sat through it this long, don't forget to like the video. You can share it. Make sure you comment. I really want to hear your thoughts. And subscribe if you haven't already. All right. That is my review. I'm not watching the official episode. This was the bootleg YouTube version. I typically watch this. I think I watch WeTV on Philo. I'm not watching this again. I'm just not. I'm going to be watching BravoCon. So I'll probably upload some videos maybe tomorrow or Sunday. Okay? You all have a nice weekend. All right. Take care.
And I will Lexapro 20 milligrams. The best thing I've ever done in my life. You should definitely try it, especially because y'all can't really get it together,